In order to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to a Monday edition of Ask Mathis. I'm your host, Reginald Mathis, and I'm rocking with my brother Teddy T, bearing the mound builder.
Yes.
What's good, my brother?
Man,
Hotep.
It's a new decade. You know, people got to realize, 10 years it went through and a lot of things have happened from 2010 to 2020.
Yeah. Lost a lot of soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Lost a lot of people. And that's what it is, man. So this is the Ask Mathis show on Strong Arm Radio. We got our brother. Y'all know how we do it on the podcast. Brother Stefan, man, any tricks? We got new tricks, or we still haven't exhausted our old tricks?
Next week, I'm bringing a little something for you.
Okay. You got to stack a few chips.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But you left a couple checks, so, you know what I'm saying? You got a check or two waiting for you, man.
My birthday present.
Okay, that's what it is, man. So, I guess, before we just get into this Iranian thing, man, I wanna build up to that. Talk about a few other little things first, man.
Definitely.
The playoffs,
Ooh.
the first round of the playoffs,
Oh, man.
are over. So,
Wow.
no Tom Brady, no Roethlisberger, and no
Drew Brees.
no Peyton Manning, which for the AFC in the Super Bowl is either going to be Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, or the other guy still alive in the AFC. But some mobile quarterbacks, a different breed of quarterbacks. Who's still alive in the AFC? Let's see. Buffalo lost. New England lost.
Yeah, so you got Tennessee.
Tennessee. Tannenbaum.
Right.
Oh, man. How we feeling? How our Dolphins feeling, man, about Tannenbaum, playing like that?
I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Isn't it like that, man? Like, when they say the grass is green on the other side, or, you always say, no, it's not. Water your own grass. And this man go over there, and he's still rocking, and we home.
Yeah.
We home. But I don't know, man. I never been sold on Tannenbaum. Is it Tannenbaum or Tannehill?
Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill. I never was sold on Tannehill, man. But, I am,
I mean, Tennessee have a 1-2 punch. They got the running game, the running back.
Oh, yeah,
best running backs.
They running back. Like, you could tell the difference with a team, with solid running backs.
Yeah.
Bruh, I don't care what they say about this open passing game and all that. Bruh, you got a running back like Henry. You got a running back like for Minnesota.
The one from Carolina, too, he's good.
Oh, McCaffrey.
Right.
McCaffrey. What's the brother name? Walton. You got Walton is a beast, and of course Lynch. He'll let show you what he can do. But we just saw a different level of play. Instead of like 2-3 yard gains, these dudes running with purpose.
Right.
I appreciate that. But
they had a big discussion about the Vikings Philadelphia game, which was the last play of the game, was when it was a push off. It was offensive pass interference, but they didn't call it. He pushed off on him, but they was like at that time,
that was that New Orleans game.
That was Philadelphia.
That happened in Philadelphia too,
Right.
because they were complaining about the call, saying 2 years in a row, New Orleans lost on a controversial bad call.
Yeah, it was the Vikings and the Saints. The Vikings.
Oh,
and the
you were
Saints.
saying the Eagles. I thought you were saying the Eagles.
It was Vikings and the Saints.
the Vikings and the Saints.
Vikings and the Saints. It was that last play that made the Vikings win.
Yeah, man,
overtime.
but the push off, man.
That's what they said.
And they challenged it too which you can challenge now. You used to couldn't challenge it, and it was like, man, come on, it's
Life or death.
shouldn't have come down to that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have come down to that, man. Them guys out there running in the offense, they get so many. Well, he pushed off. The offensive player pushed
It
off.
was a couple of the touchdowns that they turned back, and a couple of them, one they went through in a couple of games. Officiating is definitely, it's all right.
I hate to say it, bro, but the one official, man, I hate seeing out there on the field. I don't care if it's preseason, regular season, consolation, let alone playoffs. It's the brother, man. I hate to throw him under the bus, but anytime I see Jerome, the ref Jerome, bruh, I just
Shake your head.
it's gonna be a lot of flags flying, man. It just seemed like, bruh, you don't know, man. That's just me, bruh. Help me, cause I'm hearing a lot of stuff that he's went to some good schools, man. I'm even hearing of a Morehouse connection, bruh. But I'm just like, I'm not feeling, bruh. I'm not feeling him, man, because he just be making these crazy-ass calls,
About, Mike McCarthy signed to Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Mike McCarthy,
That's a good
new
move.
coach.
Used to play with Coach Green Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good move. What's his name from Cincinnati interviewed with Dallas, but I think that's a good move.
Yep.
Shout out to Jerry Jones. And the reason why I say shout out to Jerry Jones with his Jason Garrett, who he fired, he didn't even fire him.
Mm-mm.
His contract was up.
Yep.
I'm with that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go in a different direction. We're gonna keep you until your contract expires,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not gonna re-up with you.
That's it.
I'm with that. You can't be mad. Garrett can't be mad and say, bro, you played quarterback here. You've been with the organization a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We still got a spot for you in the front office.
Right.
Somewhere. Be a scout, recruiter. He got enough bread.
Yeah.
Should have enough bread.
Definitely.
But, he doesn't have Garrett did not have the personality needed to coach under Jerry Jones, bro.
Mm-mm.
Jerry Jones needs somebody with a strong personality, but it's temporary as well.
Right.
Because when Jimmy Johnson was there, even though these guys go all the way back to college, they played football together at like Arkansas State.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones was a lineman, and Jimmy Jones played defense. But it's one of those things where Jason Garrett just seems so passive and just being run over by Jerry Jones. I don't think that's going to happen to Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy will quit preseason on their ass and off-season workouts. Quit on their ass. He'd be like, look here, man.
I mean, I don't think he's already discussed that in his contract because of all of the media that have, they've given Jerry so much media about his control.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was something they pretty much talked over before he made the deal.
Yeah, I mean, he should go coach the damn team. If McCarthy doesn't do well, Jerry Jones need to coach the team, or he need either not coach.
That was Stephen A. says.
Yeah, go coach the team yourself, or leave them people alone.
Mm-hmm.
Leave your coaches alone. Let the coaches coach. Let the players play. Do that. So, shout out to Houston. Shout out to Seattle. Shout out to Minnesota. And but it's gonna be some A kicking this week.
This Saturday and Sunday is
Baltimore. I think Baltimore gonna do their thing.
They going to the Super Bowl.
I think so too. Because I think New England was the only team that had enough, what we call gravitas, that, the nervousness may have gotten to Lamar Jackson in the, in the playoffs, go there.
Right.
But Mahomes, Lamar don't see Holmes.
Mm-mm.
He don't see him. He like, bruh. He don't see him, bruh. He don't see him. Now Watson is a winner, but the problem with Houston, at the end of the game, Watson will have great stats, but if you watch the game, their ball control offense or whatever it is, and maybe that's because Fuller was hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and he just has wide receiver, man, DeAndre Hopkins, who, does this thing, but they seem kind of one-dimensional to me. They don't, Watson is a solid guy. You saw what he did in Clemson,
Right.
but I don't think they have, what it takes. I think Baltimore is dynamic. They defense, they just ain't never have no solid offense.
Mhm.
Even when they won Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, they was like, just don't fuck up.
That's it.
Our defense can win this, just don't mess up. Be a manager. Now they have Lamar Jackson, they got Hollywood, they got Ingram. I think they're a dynamic team, and the league hadn't caught up. Remember how it was when St. Louis was doing their thing at first?
Mm-hmm.
It took the league 2 years
Yep.
to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it's going to be with Lamar. I think this is his year. By next year, they're going to be ready for it.
They'll adjust.
They're going to adjust.
Mhm.
They adjusted to Mike Vick.
Mm-hmm.
They adjusted to Randall Cunningham. The league's going to adjust. So,
I think it's going to be a purple rain. Vikings versus Baltimore.
Vikings. You the first one I heard call the Vikings. You think they're going to get past San Francisco? I
That's
think San Francisco is the class. I think the only team in the NFC that could have beat San Francisco are the Saints, and they gone now.
the Vikings.
Green Bay, they could beat anybody
Mm-hmm.
in one game,
If they're
but
ready.
they're not gonna be able to.
Be consecutive. You don't think they
Yeah.
can be consecutive?
Nah, they're not gonna win 2 games, but they got 1 game in them. I hate to be that team next week.
And that's Green Bay and Seattle next week.
Seattle didn't impress me.
And Seattle's going. Seattle is got a winning record on the road right now.
Yeah, but Seattle didn't impress me yesterday. They did not impress me yesterday. They playing against a 40-year-old dude that was coaching high school football, starting off, at ESPN as an analyst beginning of the season.
Yeah.
He was the oldest player at 40 to be starting his first playoff game.
Yeah.
And that game came down to the wire. I like Russell Wilson, but nah. Nah, I think San Francisco gonna do him.
And San Francisco's playing. Who are they playing? Are they playing Kansas City?
Nah, that's Kansas City in the AFC.
That's right.
Yeah, Kansas City in the AFC. I'll tell you right now what it is. It shares San Francisco is against Minnesota.
The Vikings.
That's gonna be a good game.
Oh yeah.
San Francisco is favored by 6.5. Baltimore is playing Tennessee. Baltimore is favored by 10. And then on Sunday, Kansas City is favored by 9.5 against Houston. And then Green Bay is playing Seattle. So I think Green Bay is gonna beat Seattle, but gonna lose to either Minnesota or San Francisco.
Those are good games.
Yeah, that's gonna be. So I think who has the easiest path? Looks like Baltimore, because Tennessee, bruh, we lived with Tannehill for 5 years, or if not more. He definitely don't have 2 consistent games in him. He definitely don't have. So they gonna beat the brakes off them next week. But Henry though.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Henry's a man.
If he get
He
a couple
grown
good
man.
runs in,
He's a grown man. Henry's a grown man.
they got to definitely key on him.
Yeah, he's a grown man. So then shout out to our Heat, man. They gave, I don't know how they end up losing to Orlando, but they beat the Blazers, which is,
Carmelo and the crew.
they beat the Blazers. So let's go ahead and get to this story with the baby, man. let's go ahead and get to this story with the baby. So in case you guys, been under a rock, the baby was here this past week. Bruh, I don't know about you, but I don't want to see no more clubs. I don't want to see no more parties for at least, I guess, to Super Bowl. Because we got Super Bowl here in 3 weeks. I'm good. If you having a party, if you promoting a party between now and Super Bowl, I think you better don't go all out. Don't go all out with the promotion because it's not going to, people got to recover. You had gifts and toys. If you got kids. Now, if you been still partying each and every day, your kids better be extra good. They better be hella good.
I've been eating each and every day since New Year's.
No, that's what I'm saying. Between the food, the parties, the events, just the holidays is work, bruh. It's work. It ain't a lot of chill time. It's a lot of work. If you active, if you out there, if you
Doing family stuff. Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff going on. So the baby, who's I would say arguably the hottest in the game.
Right now.
Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
Hottest in the game, rapper out of North Carolina. I watched The Wood the other day, so I say North Carolina.
That's my brother Arnold Taylor's artist. Arnold Taylor, the radio rap. That's his artist.
Okay. So what's interesting, man, and I got the perfect guy in you, Teddy T. So I'm watching footage of the baby showing up at Puff's party, right? Puff's out there to greet him. He greets him at his whip, and Puff says, he very humble guy on the baby, says the right thing as far as, in that moment. Puff is like, thanks for coming. Everybody's waiting on you. You the guy. Right now, you the hottest in the game. We honored to have you here. And he talking directly to him. So I thought that was a bit strange. Because he just like pulled up, got up, Puffy right there, and he had a bunch of people behind him who had come out there specifically, I guess, to greet him and to bring him into the party. And as an afterthought, I see, because Puff, doing what Puff does, man.
Right.
He got all the people. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody.
He's the one.
Let's give him a round of applause. Like, yo, I got the baby. This what y'all waiting on, right? This the dude. He the hot guy. And then the baby says, like, kind of like as an afterthought, he's like, this is so and so, my CEO from the label, and the guy's like in the front passenger seat, and I guess roll down the window, and Puff was just like, yeah, all right, you know what I mean, like, yeah, all right, you know what I mean, and I thought that struck me a bit strange, that he just kind of, yeah, all right. Because it's like, it's the baby and, this the dude. But anytime the CEO of your label or your manager, they are supposed to be the one, the first, they're the tip of the spear. They're the tip of the spear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been Puffy to him, as far as so Puffy don't have to go through no manager or nobody else to get to it or whatever. But whoever Puffy's advanced person is or was for that party or whatever would have been there and would have known that this is who the baby coming with.
Right.
So that when he there, people like, yeah, Puff, he coming with his manager. Or Puff, he coming with his... Of course, you don't got to introduce him to the whole entourage or whatever. But out of respect, you're going to be like, yo, he with him, he with them. Because how the hell was Puffy introduced? Managing and being the CEO of Big and Craig Mack, and working with Mary J and all. He wasn't the artist. He was the producer, manager, marketing, promo CEO. So he should know better than anyone. If this is the guy who brought the baby to our attention, because a year ago you wasn't on the baby, 2 years ago you definitely wasn't on the baby. So give credit to the man that brought the baby to the world. So you know what I mean? Like, but he was just like, hey, what you know? Hey,
I mean,
whatever.
that's Puff is extravagant, and his element is to the baby for the artist. He's an artist person.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never seen Puff really deal with corporate business people. He's always dealt with the artist. So he's fascinated about the baby and where the baby is. Like, it's cool you bought him, but Puff is flamboyant like that. He wants to be like, oh, that's his other side.
Okay, and that's why we got Teddy T. He
Yeah,
gonna give you a different. He gonna give you a different perspective.
Yeah, that's
And that's. I accept that. I accept that. But so while he's down there and he's getting all the accolades and this and that, allegedly, the promoter, owed him $10,000 from his Cafe Iguana's engagement, and they spotted him and gave him an old-fashioned beat down.
so
And-
it happened at Puff's party.
No. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. I'm just
Okay.
the Puff party was just part of the lead-in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was like Tuesday. Because that was New Year's Eve.
Right,
That's
New
like
Year's-
New
right.
Year's Eve.
So this
So
was-
this
'cause
is
I
like
would-
Wednesday or that Thursday.
So he did Cafe Iguana sometime before.
I don't even know if he already did it. I don't even know if the performance already happened, or I think he was saying that when he paid him, that he shorted him 10,000. So I don't know if he was talking about the front end or the back end.
Yeah, because I never even knew that he had ever been to Cafe Iguana, and
I think it was for an upcoming show. I think it was
Probably
going
for
to
a
be
Super Bowl.
probably going to be an upcoming show or whatever the situation was going to be, where he was saying that the guy shorted him 10,000, and he, they take matters in their own hands. Which what people will tell you, hey, don't let the smooth taste fool you. I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. Remember that from Ladies Man?
Mm-hmm.
The guy Rock Carroll is the actor.
Right.
Who was dating Lester's love interest.
Mm-hmm.
And when he challenged him to to eat all the food in the bar,
Mm-hmm.
the pickled eggs and the pig feet and the bull's balls, and ended up eating dunk, which is feces. Rock Carroll came in with the nice suit, and he was wanting to straight up beat Leon, the ladies' man's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, nah, let's, he was like, don't let the smooth taste fool you. And so he challenged him, to this thing or whatever. So don't let the smooth taste fool you. And that's how a lot of artists feel. They feel like, hey, man, I don't need, and especially the young artists, who are coming from a position of, they've been grinding and they've been having to deal with it themselves. I can't imagine a scenario or a situation where Flo would ever touch the money, get any kind of money from a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even imagine that situation, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And let alone sitting there counting the money.
Right.
I couldn't even imagine that situation. At this level where the baby is, why would you be on the road, on the street, meeting a promoter to get this bread, right? Unless you need the bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he gets arrested, and then he goes and has his first appearance, and what comes out of his mouth?
Got a $250,000 in the room.
So you got $250,000 in the room. Bruh, sometimes you got to learn to let shit go. This ain't the street, man. It's the music business.
Mm-hmm.
It's a music business. Sue them and spray him. The baby got how many people on social media? How many followers he got on social media?
Too many.
This man got millions of followers. And
you know, I think it's the fact that a lot of these artists they make money fast. Like the baby's been out for 2 years. I would say 3 years, the most. And in his second year, he totally went, from just the average artist to the number one artist on the block. And you've never seen really any other label presence. He doesn't have a label presence. It's just the baby. And I think that's how he deals with his situation. You know what I mean? I don't think he has a front management business that's in front. Like, he does everything himself,
Janice said they should have hired you, Reggie.
and I like these younger artists, like, the way Kodak was. Kodak was the same way. These guys end up dealing their own business, even though they got managers.
understand, bruh. Understand that, at a certain point, when you start making money, you got to have people to handle that, bruh.
Mhm.
You cannot do that.
That's what they say, that there's a difference right now between the old money and the new money.
8.9 million followers.
Mhm.
So you mean to tell me, bruh, you saw what Chuck did to Jonah.
Mhm.
Big Chuck sprayed Jonah,
Mhm.
about being a janky contractor.
Mhm.
And that went local viral.
Well, it
You know
carried
what I'm
over to
saying?
the football game. He didn't get no respect.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's local viral. And Chuck got less than 15, 20,000
Mhm.
followers. Probably less than 5,000 followers. And that bad business. Imagine 8.9 million.
Mhm.
8.9 million. You saying this dude right here, bad business. He janky promoter. Don't do business with this guy. You put a picture of this guy. Do the same thing Chuck did. You put a picture of this guy. Say, man, he bad business. And then on top of that, you sue him. You sue the guy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, what are you going to gain? That $10,000 that he's going after, whatnot, what do you think it cost him in legal fees? What do you think it cost him in missed shows? You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, he had them folks working very, very hard. So he had to hire another lawyer in Texas
Yeah, 'cause
to
they-
go in there and get that warrant
Yep.
handled, dismissed,
they
whatever,
dropped that, yeah.
paid off, whatever whatever they needed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because Florida was not going to release the baby, Mr. Kirk, with a open warrant. Was not going to happen. So where's his team if you already know you traveling to different states, and when you especially you coming to Florida and you coming to Miami, it is still the South, bro. You from North Carolina, you should know it. It's worse in North Carolina than it is here. We just saw a week ago how in his home, in Charlotte, they came in and arrested him, saying there was an anonymous call that he had drugs and guns in the vehicle, whatever. So why don't you believe the hip hop police are real?
Well, he's definitely a targeted individual right now. He's there.
Right. And then the conflict with the guy at the jewelry store, the other local rapper in Carolina who, all that stuff was going on. Like, bruh,
But that's what he's doing to increase that perception of the baby. He's
what perception is that?
He's an aggressive dude that if you mess around, you can get knocked out.
Okay, until you come up against Hollywood Cole.
There you go.
Until you come up with Hollywood Cole.
There you
and
go.
you find out you are in the entertainment business.
That's it.
This dude, Mau Mau.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, bruh, it's the entertainment business. So whatever he did to get on, now you own. Once you own, bruh, business. Understand that. Understand the business because, you know, bruh, you already see what we dealing with. You know, we got a artist, you know, facing a charge in another state. It is very, very real. You know,
These younger artists, you know, TK, the guy in Dallas, he's facing life. You know, all these young artists, they're all
JW Melly,
right. Yep, he
he's
killed
dude.
his two people. Like,
You know, see what's going on with Kodak. I mean, the thing is, you gotta understand. Once you get on, you're on. It's like you have before you own and when you own.
but that's what I mean. It comes too fast for some people. Like, some people go from 20,000 to, you know, 30,000 within a year. You know, average. You maybe go 20 to 30, 10 more thousand a year. You know what I mean? This dude, he went from, you know, last year making almost 100 grand to now he's making over 200,000 in just a matter of a couple of weeks of everything. And all that money, everything is just coming fast. It's just popping like
Okay, so
they
understand.
can't handle that.
Understand, my brother. Just like, you know, before, you know, our unfortunate incident, Plies came, stepped to our guy, and was like, bruh, understand, this is the music business. You can't have one foot in the street and one foot out. Understand that. Anybody that's out there that think they can do both, they're going to lose.
Every day.
They're going to lose every time. You're going to lose every time. Every time. Not sometime. Every time. Every time. You try to handle it yourself. No, man, you get you a team. You get you a squad. You know, and regardless if the money coming fast, each day you doing something you weren't able to do before. You know what, you know that, you know, you used to divide, you know, checks at a restaurant, and now you pick up the check. You know your life is changing. You used to ride around, you know, in muscle cars. Now you riding around in foreign cars. You understand that with money that comes that, and the people that's around you that's hanging out with you and whatnot. You got to understand that you have to have people around
That
you.
responsibility.
You have to have people around you, and the people that's around you got to understand. You got to keep the money flowing, and to keep the money flowing, you got to know. Bro, you know the baby had to see when Meek Mill was beefing with Safari when he had Nicki. You know what I'm saying? And they ran into Safari in L.A. At that little party. What Meek do? Meek come off. He come out and he just look up, and his dudes come running out because that's their damn job. That's their job. In exchange for staying in the best hotels, eating the best food, bottle service at the club. How many of these dudes you think going in their pocket, you know, at Live? How many of these dudes going in their pocket, you know, at Prime 112? They ain't even paying the valet park their cars.
Might have to take a charge.
Somebody might have to take. Thank you.
yeah.
Somebody might have to take a charge. You got to know that going in.
They ready for
You
that.
got to know that going in. You know, you got the weed roller. You got the girl secure. You know what I'm saying? Like, if dude don't have no defined role and purpose, you know, you are a goon. You are a goon. You are a goon.
That's it.
You are a goon. What is a goon?
Oh yeah, that's
A goon is the guy that just come mush somebody in the face.
That's in-house security. In-house.
Right. You gotta go mush somebody in the face. You gotta move. You know, bruh, let me tell you, I went to Flo's second album release. It was at, remember this club? It was called. It became something live, like Hard Rock Live or something live. But it was on Ocean and like 15th. You know, like where
yeah.
and it was like Dolce. I
Definitely.
think it was like Dolce or something like
It's
that.
been a couple things. I know you're talking about.
It's been a few things, but
Right.
it was Hard Rock Live or something live, and then it was Dolce or whatever. But we had Flo's second album release was at that party, and things had just changed.
Mhm.
Things had really escalated. Like they had really changed. You could just see like the first time is like what it was, but this time, like you had people flying in to
to be there.
there,
Right.
like flying in for this or whatever. And I remember, bro, people dressed like the prom, and on the stairs, bro, like Flo was on the second floor in this little room in the back, and the place was getting packed, jammed, crowded. Man, all these people in these ball gowns and dresses, and dudes dressed up on the stairs. I see all these people falling down the damn stairs, bro. I'm like, what the?
Bruh.
Dude done pushed these people down the stairs.
Mm.
I'm like, what? You got to have the goons, man.
Mhm.
It's like, yo, dude, what's up? And they said they wanted the area clear. Like, dog, like that, though?
They wouldn't listen.
What?
They wouldn't listen.
You know, push these people. You just see these people falling down the stairs like dominoes, and then they look up and they see big ass Zach and big ass Tubby, and they like, oh, okay, all right, bro. Like it was just,
We understand.
yeah, okay,
Who's in the wrong?
all right, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, know your role, man. Know your role, bro. Know your role, and for the artist that's getting on, or you know, like you said, it happens fast, and it, you know, and you don't always know, you know, but bruh, don't you think if you able to tell a judge that you got $250,000 in cash out of state in your hotel room, that $10,000 maybe you could have let that go? Like maybe you could have let that go. Or at least, man, just to one of your homies, man, bruh, you bring that back. You know what I mean? I split it with you. You know what I mean? Come on, bruh. Come on, man. It is lots of ways. Lots of ways. That showed me, dude, stingy as hell. That's what that showed me.
Yeah.
That showed me, bruh, stingy as F.
I mean, he want.
That's
all
what
his
that
money.
showed me, bruh. That he want all the
his
money.
money. He don't
It's-
want half.
bruh, that's
Some.
stupid.
All. And he gonna do it
That's-
himself.
that's
But like these
stupid.
guys, they don't prepare for it. Like they don't have an
That's
OG
Stupid.
that's with them. You know what I mean? To kind of be like, nah, let us. You know.
Like, nah,
let-
bro, just
let's do
chill.
this. We in
Just-
Miami.
Yeah, bro, we gon' go to Wet Willie's.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Wet Willie's. Meet us at, man, y'all get them to Wet Willie's. Take them to Wet Willie's. We gonna come by, man. You know what I'm saying? Go chill out, man. You just met this honey over there, man. We gonna meet her at Wet Willie's. You know what I'm saying? We gonna meet back up with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, come back in there with that bread. And dude be like, man, go and keep it. You know what I'm saying? You put that work in, go and keep it. You know, because you know, if it was just a random ass whipping on the beach, nobody would have got arrested. But because his name is in the mix, now it's everybody on it. So you're increasing the likelihood of this thing by you being involved. So you gotta be like, you know, bruh, come on vacation, leave on probation. That should be on the Florida sign when they say welcome to Florida. Our beautiful beaches and our, you know, secure jails. We welcome you and your money. And we got plenty of lawyers on deck to take your money. So people want to know pricing wise. You know, it's like, Matt, you had gotten a call on a situation like that for that, whatever, 50,000. So them 10,000 that you trying to, get back or whatever, go through somebody's pockets and take the $80. I'm gonna hit you with 50 bands. You got somebody gonna have to pay me half up front. Gonna have to pay me half up front, and then when I go in, find out, damn, you got this situation over here, so I'm gonna have to get a lawyer in Texas to go over there and pay them whatever they need. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about a situation that's running into damn near $100,000 to solve this issue, to solve this problem over 10,000, man. All money ain't good money. Sometimes you just gotta, walk away. But fortunately, the baby is back and he was able to get to his money, so shout out to the baby. Hopefully he learned from this and does not feel emboldened. Like some people, they feel Teflon, man. You got out of one situation and then they just feel like, oh, my numbers just went up doing this. I'm sure it went up because now you got all these people talking about who is the baby? The baby, the baby, the baby, the baby.
Learn from Kodak.
Better learn from it.
You ain't invincible.
I'm trying to tell you, man, this record is very, very serious. Record is very, very serious, man. So, and I think that'll be a hell of a segue to the other topic, we wanted to talk about, man. So, shout out to the baby, man. He's 28 years old. So he ain't like, a spring chicken. He been in the game for a minute. But like you said, he has a new level of success that he hadn't seen. But I shared with Brother Stefan one of the article, basically saying how hip-hop is contributing to the denigration of the culture, of the race, specifically, and basically saying they gave a formula, if I recall from the article, they gave a formula for a hit record, right now. I think it starts off, number one is melodic, and number two has to do with if there's any kind of conflict, any conflict will be resolved by way of firearm, right? When it comes to dating, that the likelihood is to do something with a lady who's not yours, but someone else's, and to do it in a way that you're going to leave her, with a child, and you're going to haul ass, from your responsibility from that. And it's like, damn, I just thought that was something that was true in a lot of in a lot of respects, and then you had the people coming back saying, well, longing for the De La Souls and the Public Enemies, Brand Nubian, but folks like, man, I don't listen to this, or Talib Kweli, which is the recent guys who aren't finding success, in doing it. And so the issue is the music industry, the label heads encourage it, and is that a form of white supremacy in that these label heads are encouraging and are putting out and promoting this type of music, which is contributing to the denigration of our communities.
Ever since 1992, the meetings with the prisons and the record labels, that's where it all started. The demeaning of it, I mean, that's where the culture has gone out of what is hip-hop, and it's basically rap is now what they just consider to be the culture. The dance, the clothing, all the different things that we grew up with. Hip-hop was us. Like, everybody couldn't rap. Some people could break dance. Some people can do graffiti.
Some people could DJ.
Right, so that was the element of what was hip-hop. It was like 5 elements of hip-hop. And that's what has been taken away because rap has been magnified by the media. The people that are rapping, and their elements of being drug dealers, all of the negative elements is what make these guys big. Like Kendrick Lamar is Kendrick Lamar. He's a big artist like J. Cole. But they're not seen as much as the Baby and Lil Baby and all these other people. But when they drop a record, they're gonna do 3-4 times millions, but it's quietly. They don't have the popularity that these other guys that are more I would say edgy are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the media. Everything that goes on in society, there's gonna be a twist for us. There's nothing that's going to be straight at us. We're never going to get anything straight. There's always going to be a curve, a twist, that it comes to us because if they're afraid of our development, our growth, and what we'll do if we're able to actually become equal.
So what do we do?
I mean, is our age group has to come in and kind of like be a part of everything. Like when we were younger, when we were these guys, we had our older uncles. I remember in 78, 79, when hip-hop was coming in, and it was that argument between, Rick James and the Commodores, or Run DMC and Curtis Blow and Sugar Hill, but it was like we understood that hip-hop came from this music.
Right.
We understood that, but these kids don't even know anything about the history of our music. If you say New Edition, these people don't know who New Edition is. And that's to me a problem, because the way that music has been such a impact on the community that, that's, even with our people here, having for the people to know, if you're in the music business, if you don't know who Young and the Restless is, if you don't know who Poison Clan is, there's a problem with you being and calling yourself a Miami artist. And that's the things that we have to be able to come in and actually.
So they have a lot of the museums and stuff in New York that they're doing as far as, explaining and educating people on the culture and what it's from and where it's from and the history. Maybe if you know your history and, if you know the history of your people and your circumstances, maybe it would encourage you to change, what you're talking about, because you are influencing, other people looking up to you more than ever, looking up to you. It's just one of those things, man. I thought that article, it really struck me. And then when you turn on the radio, man, it's like one continuous. It's the same song. It's the same song, and sometimes it's literally the same beat. So and it's not like it used to be. You would think it's a remake of a record, and that would usually 10 years, 15 years before you go and redo a song. But now it was just like Bands Will Make Her Dance, and then Rihanna just did Shine Bright Like a Diamond, the same damn beat, and that was like within the same radio cycle, and both songs did well. It's just like.
That's what reggae always shares rhythms like that. That's where that comes from. Like, and Rihanna being a Caribbean artist, the rhythms, Jamaica's always rhythms. And I remember when it was Power and then it was Snap, it was two songs, Gonna Make You Sweat, and then the Power record back in 1991.
I got the power!
Right, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm Gonna Make You Sweat. Right. So there was the one by Snap and there was the one by CC Music Factory.
Right.
And it happens like that. Even when
with the Icons, when they had, they was all get up, don't. You had about 3-4 versions doing that, man. But it's like one continuous sound. It's like they got sound like the same producer that's just
rhythm. That's
putting it in there.
Yep.
That sound out of Atlanta. You know,
Especially when you licensing music now. Like if you license a song, then there's always going to be other artists that's going to be on that record because it's being licensed. That means it's not exclusive. You know what I mean? So I remember hearing Benzino did Lean Back before Fat Joe did it. You know, all Scott did was just mix up the instruments and gave it to Fat Joe. But the first original beat, which was similar, came out with Benzino.
There you go. There you have it. TDT. So the last story, man, before we get up out of here, of course, is the the strike on General Soleimani, man. Do we call it an assassination? Do we call it a strike? Or do we just call it an attack? Like, how do we characterize it? Because this is the second most powerful man, or he was the second most powerful man in Iran. You know, he was head of the Quds Force, the revolutionary, guard, the elite fighting force in Iran. But he was the guy that was going around to, Hezbollah, Hamas, and all these, labeled terrorist organizations, recruiting people and planning attacks and doing certain things, man. And, it's documented that over 600 American soldiers, were killed, directly due to, this guy's reign. So what did President Trump know or have that President Obama or President Bush did not have? And I think that's the issue, that we're dealing with. And if you look at any of the visuals, coming from Iran, they're doing right now in Tehran, the capital of Iran. They're having 3 official days of mourning. And man, bruh, if we don't think we gonna feel it, we gonna feel it. Now, the American people deserve, because you know what? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Historically, we look at Saddam Hussein invading Kuwait, a sovereign nation. You gotta go in there and do it. But look what happened when Russia, invaded Ukraine and took Crimea, which they still occupying Crimea. Or back in the day, a few years ago, Georgia in former Soviet Union. They went in there and occupied it for a minute. We ain't do nothing. Why? Because Soviet Union got them nukes. So, what we gonna do? Sanction or whatever we gonna do. But with Iran, we don't give brown people the same, that we don't give them the same credibility. Who was the only nation that had a nuclear bomb dropped on it? Japan. I'm just saying. But, you talking about taking out the, second in command. So what if they identify the United States or characterize us as war criminals? Which, if the president strikes, because he threatened to strike, as part of the 52 targets that he has, that he was willing to retaliate against for the 52 hostages that were taken in 1979 at the embassy in Iran, when the Shah was deposed. So a lot of people don't understand, why is it that we've been so, at odds with Iran? It has a lot to do with the Shah of Iran. The Shah of Iran, he was basically, I ain't gonna call him a puppet, but he was friendly to the United States. And so when the Ayatollahs took over, when they had the revolution, the government was formed in 1979. It was a coup. They took over They took over, and the Shah hauled ass and was given refuge, in the United States. And so the Ayatollah took over, and they have Sharia law and what they call a theocracy. A theocracy means, what they do, their constitution is the Quran. Like their law is based on, it's called Sharia law. Their law is based on the Quran. And so the head of their state is the Ayatollah. Right? So I remember growing up, man. Remember like the Iron Sheik, the Iron Sheik, in wrestling, was representing Iran, and you had like Sergeant Slaughter, on the American side, or Bugsy McGraw, coming in there doing all this stuff, man. And it was like we were programmed to start hating Iran and Russia, when we were kids. They started programming us that way, to hate them, to dislike them, and not understand, the rich history of Iran, mathematics, and, the Persian Empire, coming out of, that region, just the stuff that's going on. Very intelligent people, highly intelligent people. And, they have at their disposal, they vow, revenge, at the mosque. They're saying for the first time they're flying the martyr flag, which is basically, it's just like blowing a big ass trumpet saying, go get them. And we got 80 million if you get Trump. We got 80 million. So, bruh, what does that mean for the diplomats and the soft targets that are in Europe or that are in the Middle East or that are in these places? They hit Kenya yesterday, but nobody talking about that. They're just, there's some black people, so ain't nobody, saying they got anything to do with it. But when you have an entire sovereign nation behind you, man, Al Qaeda got nothing on the whole government. We don't understand that. We're like, hey, we kicked Al Qaeda's ass. We kicked ISIS's ass. Bruh, this is a sovereign nation going back thousands of years. And if you think, they going to just sit idly by and be like, okay, all right, we sorry. It's cool. That man's daughter, at the funeral yesterday, because they having 3 official funerals. The one in Tehran today, but one in his hometown. His daughter, she got the mic, and she basically like, she did a Suge Knight. All up in the videos. Y'all gonna let my daddy, who loved this nation, y'all just gonna let them kill him like that? What? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing? Y'all, do I need to do it? You know what I mean? Like this, she went. Dude, hey, I ain't gonna say she made him proud, but you know what I mean? I think anybody would want their child to speak like that, if a tragedy befell them, to come in there, like, we know where we at. West Side. You know what I mean? We know where we at.
You mean they want to give out hugs like Bob and Jean?
Bruh, ain't nobody trying to, bruh. And all I'm saying is, we've been told the Sunday shows was that there was a plot or plan against military as well as diplomats that was imminent. So imminent means,
That's the military word.
hours, days. I would say hours, days, weeks at the most to be imminent.
Military term wise, it doesn't get higher than imminent.
You know,
That
that
means
means
right now.
that means right now. That means right now. That means, you know, when you have these FBI sting operations or these police sting operations, or you got somebody deep undercover or whatever, when they have to go in there and grab them,
Mm-hmm.
it's because they safety. You know, there's an imminent threat to their safety. We bring them out right now. Abort, abort, abort. Bring them out now. So President Obama was given an opportunity. President Bush was given an opportunity, and they both passed. This dude been doing this stuff for decades. So they owe it to the American people, don't they, to tell us, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, well, we want to protect the sources and the methods or whatever. All right, cool. We don't need to blow no covers, you know, like they did for Valerie Plame. But, hey, a CIA operative, when they were talking about weapons of mass destruction, you know, talking about, you know, anyway, yellow cake in Niger. But, hey, 2020, let's go in there. Doesn't somebody owe it that has some credibility? Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has zero credibility. The Attorney General William Barr, zero credibility. They just yes man for the damn president, and the president done lied damn near 15,000 times. So the credibility is just like, man, we done already been through this. Where they were saying that the attack and on the Obama side, that was the dumbest explanation I ever heard, when they was like Benghazi started over some damn video, some movie that a filmmaker made, you know, depicted Muhammad in a bad light, and that's why. I was like, huh?
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Like, what is that?
It did not pass the smell test, you know. And they sent Valerie Jarrett out there, man. It was like, bruh, President Obama, man, y'all did her wrong. Y'all did her wrong. And we definitely saw that when, damn, I got to give myself a Teddy T. Because I'm like, the two instances where lies have been told to the American people came from black people. Colin Powell went before the UN and made this case about weapons of mass damn destruction. And Valerie Jarrett, you know, went on the talk shows talking about Benghazi was over this damn movie.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Boule in business.
Wow, Teddy. Wow, bruh. So, I mean, with that being said, man, you know, pray for the troops, man. We're going to end up having, you know, I think 3,500 just from the 82nd Airborne, you know, just got deployed, man. And having done a lot of military events, bruh, these are kids, man. These are kids. Like, these ain't, you know, seasoned, grown-ass men, bro. When you go there, man, these are kids. These are baby-faced kids that's going over there, you know, fighting or willing to fight. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Or willing to fight, you know, for this country. But anytime, you know, you want to have a president, you want to have a leader that you feel confident that anytime he orders troops in the harm's way, that it's a good reason. It's for the betterment and the benefit of the nation, and not a distraction from some of his, you know, shit that he got going on. You know, and that's the thing, bruh. You know, that's the thing, man. Like, this country is being ripped apart. It's being ripped apart. Nobody trusts anybody. You know, the goals of Soleimani, we're accomplishing them for him. We're accomplishing the goals because the Iraqi parliament, you know, they just voted to get, for us to leave
Mm-hmm.
Iraq.
And they came out of the nuclear agreement.
Iran came out today. Iran was like, man, we our levels going back up because we see what y'all own. Man, we see what y'all own. So you think we gonna sit here and be naked? Nah, bruh. Nah, we not gonna be naked. We not gonna be naked. Matter of fact, we got to show y'all we crazy. Because we looking at North Korea. So they like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You go and act crazy. You do like Lamont Sanford did on in Sanford and Son. Remember when the episode when he liked the girl and they was in the little restaurant with the girl, him, Rollo, and the two ladies, but she was, dating some big dude and the dude ain't know it was over. And so he comes into it and was like, what's this dude doing here, whatever. So Lamont went and tried to learn karate. Lamont went and tried to learn karate for like 3-4 days. And he went back to the spot and the dude came out there and he's like, didn't I tell you to stay away from a girl? Whatever. And so he goes outside. And while he's outside, I think that's when I think it was Grady. Lamont Fred was probably doing something else, but I think it was Grady.
It probably was Grady.
I think Grady came out there and saw the man. He was like, man, get away from me, old man. You don't want none of this. He's like, nah, man, but you know that guy, the goofy one you about to mess up. He's crazy. He got like autism or he got some kind of sickness or disease or whatever. He not himself. You're like, what do you mean, old man? Well, I'm really about to knock his block off. No, man, he's like, whatever. And then Lamont finally comes outside and then he start like praying, like to get ready. He's like, he get ready for the fight. And he just break out and just start doing these crazy, kung fu, crazy moves as James Brown call them. I don't know karate, but I know crazy. He started doing all this crazy stuff, talking about, and the dude's like, oh man, you right. He runs off or whatever. Man, I'm just saying. Blessed, man, for those soldiers out there, man, that's going in harm's way. Let's just pray, man, that this is one of those things that they really saved us from something. But why can't you tell us what you saved us from? It got to be somebody smart enough to say some things without compromising safety and security. And with that said, your boy John Bolton, the big mustache guy, he says that he's willing to testify in the impeachment trial if he's subpoenaed. So between Bolton, Mulvaney, and the guy from OMB, Office of Management and Budget, we might get a little truth, in terms of what's going on, but I'm not confident, that's going to happen, man. But, having said that, man, that's all I got today.
That's it. We going.
We out. Steph.
I'm just glad we made it to see 2020.
Amen.
We here.
Happy New Year, everybody. Big things in 2020. The return of Mad Dog. That was, I want to say that was one of my entry levels, into this drinking thing. Man, we should drink that stuff. It's,
But you started off with Reggie.
bro, we started off with Mad Dog 2020, man. Shout out to brothers on Hammondville. That used to be our spot. That was the only spot that would sell underage.
Reggie, you snitching?
No, they gone.
Oh, okay.
No, they come on, bruh. They gone. No, they gone. You know, Hammondville is now MLK, and that's all part of the CRA, the Community Redevelopment. So they been, you know, sold out. You know what I'm saying? Gentrification. They still sold out, but that was the spot, man. The crazy thing is, they, you know, the dude who was the youngest out of all of us, but he looked the oldest, would be the one to go in. So he come out, boy. We'd be sitting in the car waiting, boy. He come out with them. Like, every time, man, it worked. Man, you know, bless you. It worked damn near every time, but you felt like each time you ain't know it was going to work. You know, but we did it at least once a week, you know, mostly on Fridays. And the way we used to do it, bro, we used to go in and we each have, you know, I can't even drink it no more and stuff. I drank so much of it, and it was just so, it would give me I'd be so drunk. But we used to just hold it up until it was gone, bro. Like, it wasn't no trying to drink it for the taste because it was nasty. It was so nasty. But the effect, it was just...
We used to mix it with bull. Make a
Ooh.
burger maker.
Ooh, wow. Man, that's nasty stuff. Mad Dog 2020, bro.
Wild Irish Rose and Mad Dog 2020.
Man. So we was on that Slit Small Liquor Bull. So you either get Mad Dog or you get the Bull.
That's it.
You know, to get you where you want to be. So, shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate you, Teddy. Appreciate you, Stefan. Looking forward to, you know, big things. Big things in 2020. And I appreciate y'all on Facebook land, you know, for tuning in. And how we going up out of here, bro?
Brothers and sisters!
Wow. I don't know what this world is coming to.
I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes! The rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm on my level. Okay? Freshman year, baby. Freshman year.
The enemy telling you to hear it. They praise the music.
Damn, man. Can't nobody do no music like this no more.